Dear participants, welcome to day 3, session 4 of a 1-week national level online faculty development skill development program on Let's Communicate Effectively, Transforming Communication Skills. Having understood all about human communication as a scientific system, knowing how communication is different in business professional context, having understood something about verbal and non-verbal communication and knowing that non-verbal communication is very important, now let us learn to the direct skills which are directly related to transforming our communication skill. That is listening, speaking, reading and writing. Today's session is going to be of much importance to everyone provided that you listen carefully throughout the session. Because the session itself is on effective listening, mother of all skills. Why is it said like listening is mother of all skills? Is listening a skill? How is it a skill? Why we are inherently poor listeners? What are the strategies to develop our listening skill? What are the different myths? And how to become active listener? This is the agenda of today's session. Let's begin with this quote to know the importance of listening. And I hope this just one quote is enough to know the importance of listening, which goes, if speaking is silver, then listening is gold. If you are giving much importance to listening, if you are giving much importance to speaking and the speaker, then that is silver. You should give much more importance to listening because that is gold. And that is why most of the management gurus emphasize on listening. They tell that the key behind successful leaders, successful managers is their effective listening, they being active listeners. Let us move ahead and see what exactly this listening includes and why is it given much importance. So first let us take overview what we are going to see in today's session. We will understand listening as a skill. We will discuss various myths about listening. We will know various poor listening habits and we'll know how to overcome them. We will know various types of listening and learn which type is to be used where. What are the benefits of listening effectively, actively? How to be an effective listener, the strategies, and 9 habits of effective listeners. Let me begin with a story of 4 friends. 4 friends A, B, C, D attend an expert lecture on importance of soft skills in professional life delivered by a well-known personality, and after the talk they discuss like this. Friend A says, I completely agree with the speaker when he said that soft skills are more important than hard skills. Friend B says, absolutely, and as he told, I am going to read the books he referred for my further improvement. Friend C says, I could listen just first part. Later, I got bored and dozed off for a while. And the friend D says, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Now, what is the moral of this story? The 4 friends who have attended the same session, same expert lecture, have come up with different outcomes. And what are the outcomes? 2 of them have concentrated. They have got something. One of them has got something, let us say half, but the rest, the 4th one, he has not got anything. That makes the difference in listening. That difference is because of their method, their way of listening, their ability of listening. Does this happen with you? Do you have the same experience? You go with your friends, say for movie, for let us say a show, for any lecture, any program, and when you discuss you find these, like few of your friends are giving all the information about that program, but you are not knowing much because you did not pay attention. Why? Because you did not listen that session carefully. Now let us begin with this, knowing that listening, speaking, reading and writing, soul of learning any language, and how listening is the mother of all those skills. To learn any language, this is the sequence: listening, speaking, reading and writing. Why the sequence is there? I think it is needless to describe that a child who is just growing first learns language by listening. A child just listens around, listens to the people around, in the home and then tries to utter the words. He listens, then he starts imitating the people around. He starts imitating in sounds, in words, and then in sentences. That is speaking. When listening and speaking is developed, then the children are sent in school. That is to read. And when the school starts, the reading first is stressed, not the writing. The school starts with reading and listening poems and just reading. And then afterwards we learn writing. So this is the sequence L, S, R, W. Any language is developed in these four sequence L, S, R, W, and L, that is listening, comes first. That is why it is called as the mother of all skills. Okay, let me give you a task here now. Some of them, listening, speaking, reading and writing, 2 of them are called as passive skills, 2 of them are called as active skills. Can you guess which are passive and which are active? And can you add why they are called as passive and active? Just pause the video for a while and think about this. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, which are passive, which are active, why is it so? Okay, I hope you have come up with some of the at least thoughts in your mind. Assuming that you are listening very carefully. Let us see now. So passive skills are listening and reading. Why they are called as passive? Because when you are listening, there is no any proof. It does not involve any of your body part which is tangible to others, which is visible to others. Unless you move your head, unless you move your eyes or have facial expressions. Now, are you listening now? What is the proof? In class, it happens visually, right? Teacher teaches and all the students are looking at teacher, but they may be just looking, they may be involved somewhere else. That is why they are called as passive skill. It does not involve much of our body part. Same happens with reading. You may be just opening a book, looking into the pages, but thinking about something else. That's why they are passive skills. Active skills, speaking and writing. Now, when I speak, there is some proof that there is a movement of my lips, the voice is coming, I'm using my hands. So there is something involved. If I'm on the stage, I'm moving on the stage and giving some sounds. So speaking. In the same way, when we are writing, we involve our hand, we involve our eyes, we involve our brain, and we go on writing something. So much involvement is there. That's why they are called as active skills. Now, what happens most of the time? Listening and reading, they are neglected because they are passive, and speaking and writing are focused more because it has some proofs. It is shown. But actually, the active skills are dependent on the passive skills. For example, if you are a very good listener, you will be a very good speaker and you will be a very good writer as well. If you listen well, you will be able to speak and remember, recollect and write. And if you are a good reader, again that helps to become you a good speaker and a good writer as well. So your active skills are most dependent on your passive skills. And why listening is mother of all skills? Because if you are a good listener, you are a good reader as well. Let me tell you how. If you listen a particular story, particular incident somewhere, and when you go and read that particular incident in a book or in a newspaper, you immediately get all the information and you are able to comprehend that better because you have already listened, and when you are reading, you are grasping all the information correctly. That is why listening is mother of all the skills. Let's move ahead. Now, one more skill is added in this group, and that is thinking skill. And this is a less known skill, but it is a vital to learn English effectively. We are going to see in our last session on thinking skills. Now, listening is also called as mother of all speaking. If you want to become effective speaker, then you should be an effective listener as well. Let me give you another reflection spot here. Can you tell me what percentage of your waking time do you spend on listening, speaking, reading and writing? That is, whatever hours you are awake, how much time you spend in listening, reading, writing and speaking, the percentage. Just think throughout the day how much percentage you speak, you read, you write and you listen. Give me in comment section, in chat box, the percentage. L percentage, S percentage, R percentage, W percentage. Okay, I hope you have made at least one opinion and it is there in your mind and you have posted in comment section as well. Let's move ahead and see there are many studies which stress importance of listening, and a typical study points out that we spend around 70 to 80% of our waking hours in LSRW, 70 to 80% of our waking hours in those 4 skills, and of that spent skill, that spent time, we spend just 9% in writing, 16% reading, 30% speaking, and 45% listening. So we spend maximum of our waking time on listening. What we are focusing on? We are focusing on how to be effective speaker. We are focusing on how to become a good writer. Even we are sometimes focusing on how to read effectively, but we are not focusing on how to listen effectively, and that is the tragedy. And that is why most of us are poor listeners. We are going to see ahead. Now, what is listening? It is simply defined the art of hearing attentively and understanding. That you are hearing attentively like you are doing now and understanding everything that is being conveyed by the speaker, by the sender. Okay, let us now understand the difference between listening versus hearing. Do you think these two terms are same or different? If they are different, can you tell me? What is the difference between listening and hearing? Just think for a while and pause the video. You may pause the video and just think and give me in comment section or in chat box. What is the difference between hearing and listening? You hear something, you listen something. What is the difference? Okay, I hope you have come up with your response. Let us see now the difference. Now, when I say hearing, it is done for general purpose. There is no definite goal and it is expecting less or no comprehension, and it may be even purposeless. But when you say listening, it is specific purpose. It is goal oriented. You have some aim in your mind, and high comprehension is expected by when you are listening. So that is difference between hearing and listening. Hearing, just you are hearing so many sounds. Listening, you are selecting one and paying attention. Let me give example here at railway station. Suppose you are at a railway station and you are waiting for your train. How many sounds do you hear? You hear sound, so many sounds, sound of trains, the blowing of horn, then the salespersons around you, other passengers, they are communicating, they are chatting something, right? There is sound of something, some other sellers as well, and it is just noisy, right? Do you pay attention to all those sounds? No, and you are just busy in your mobile, or you are also communicating, say for example, with your co-passenger. But as soon as you hear, may I have your attention please? As soon as you hear this, you immediately select from all those sounds and pay attention to that announcement, because you want to just know where your train is coming, whether your train is on time, and if it is coming on the same platform I'm waiting or on the other platform, so that I can manage to go there. So as soon as you hear, may I have your attention please, train number this coming on this platform, immediately you forget all the sounds, you select only that announcement. Even if it is much noisy, you are able to hear that and listen that, and you accordingly grasp the message and go. That is listening. And listening or hearing all the sounds is just hearing. Right now also, currently, you are hearing so many sounds around you. You are having sounds, maybe if you are at home, you are having sounds around your house. The people are talking, dogs are barking, birds are chirping, your family members are talking, the noise of fan and so on. But you are selecting my sounds, I hope so, and paying attention to that and listening. That is the difference between hearing and listening. Now let's test our listening ability. Okay, what I'll do here, I'll read 2 sentences. How many of words can you see here? Count them. I'll read the sentences and I'll just display the words here. What you are supposed to do, listen me carefully and point out the words and count how many words you can identify. Ready? Okay, let's go. Here are the words and I read. Social networking sites are one of the best ways to stay connected with friends and family. They have changed the way people socialize, and according to research, if you have a supportive social network, you may add years to your life. How many words? Alright, I'll read once again. Now again, find out the words and count them. Ready? Social networking sites are one of the best ways to stay connected with friends and family. They have changed the way people socialize, and according to research, if you have a supportive social network, you may add years to your life. How many words you can identify? Okay, you must have come up with number. See now, there are total 20 words which I have taken here. The words are many actually. If you could have identified 15 plus, then excellent, you are a very good listener. If your number is between 10 to 15, you are average listeners, no problem. But if the number is below 10, then you need to improve your listening skills. Okay, let us see then how to improve this, why we are poor listeners, what are the strategies and all that. Why are we poor listeners? People are inherently poor listeners because look at this quote. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand, but they listen with the intent to reply. What we do, we don't listen to understand the things, but we are preparing our reply, and in that we are becoming poor listener. Right? Before understanding the message, our reply is ready. And that is why we are poor listeners. Let us see further reasons. Listening, being a passive skill, is most ignored. We do not pay much attention because it is passive skill. Right? We think that listening is a natural skill and it will get developed naturally. No, it is not like that. It is a skill, and like driving, like swimming, and like learning dance, every other skills, listening is also to be learned and to be trained. Next, listening training is not available. This is what we have: training on speaking, we have training on writing, sometimes we have training on reading as well, but we never find an institute giving training on listening. Very less training is available. We are inherently inefficient listeners. Why we are poor listeners? Because inherently, naturally, we all are poor listeners. Inborn, let us say. Why? Because research has shown that after listening 10 minutes oral presentation, average listeners remember 50%, but that 50% also reduces to 25% after 48 hours. So it means we can remember only 1/4 of whatever we have listened. And that is why we are poor listeners. Thinking speed is more than listening speed. Now it is very interesting. If you can speak up to 125 words per minute, the listeners can think up to 400 to 500 words per minute. That is, your thinking speed is 4 times more than your listening speed. It means for listening only 25% mental capacity is used. If somebody is speaking, your 25% mental capacity is used and 75% is free for wandering somewhere else. And that is the same thing which happens when you are in class. Teacher is teaching, you can listen, you can hear the sounds. So 25% is engaged, but 75% of your mental ability, mental capacity is engaged in thinking something else. What will I do in the break? What my friend may be doing? What my parents may be doing after this lecture or after this college, this day today, where I will go and what I will do, to whom I meet. So many things we go on, or maybe interpreting the speaker, interpreting his non-verbal cues and so on. For that reason, we need to engage maximum of our mental capacity to be effective listener. We hear, we do not listen. That is, listening requires discipline and takes a lot of energy. If you listen a lecture carefully, then you will definitely feel tired. It happens even when you watch a movie as well, and you very carefully get engaged in the movie because you listen each and every dialogue. You feel tired because it takes a lot of energy and discipline. Let's move ahead and know 7 habits of highly ineffective listeners. Ineffective. What are those? Number 1, on-off listening. There are some listeners who use this poor habit, that is on-off. When the matter, suppose they are listening to a lecture, listening to a presentation, when the matter of their interest comes, they get on. When the matter of their disinterest comes, they get off. The other example, suppose in class teacher is using both the language, mother tongue and English. When a teacher is explaining something in English, students get off. If that is translated in the mother tongue, they get on. So that is called as on-off listening. We should not do this. We should be continuously engaged. Second poor habit is, inefficient listeners habit is dependent listening. What is that? Look at this. You must have this experience. Students particularly, when there is an announcement made by the class teacher or HOD in the class, you do not pay attention, or even if you pay attention and you listen everything, when the announcement is done, you ask your friend, what was the announcement? What we are supposed to do? What was the message? Why is it? Because we are dependent listener. We are always dependent on someone to listen and to get the message. Even if we listen everything, we are dependent and we ask. No, do not do that. That is not a good habit. A red flag listening. That is always just listen to conflict. When somebody says something, you take that negatively and you just are ready to make conflict. Open ears, closed mind listening. Usually very favorite with most of the students. Everything is fine. Nodding head, looking at the board, looking at teacher, maybe writing something down, but inside no any input. It is completely closed. That is, your ears are open, but your minds are closed. Glassy-eyed listening. Glassy-eyed, I put a black colored glasses on my eyes, I look everything black. If I put green colored glasses, everything looks green. If it is yellow, everything will be yellow. In the same way, I put a glass of thoughts in my mind. And with those glass of thought, I go on listening. I hope I am clear. For example, I am from one religious background. So I have my own thinking ways, and that is the glass. And I am looking the world from that glasses. That is glassy-eyed listening. Just looking at everyone, listening at every part with the same perspective. Then too complicated for me listening. Most of the time it happens, we listen something and we feel, understanding share market and understanding all that is, very complicated for me. I do not want to listen. Why not to? Listen deliberately. Take efforts. You will definitely get very important information when you take extra efforts to understand some message. And next is, do not rock the boat listening. What is that? Do not rock the boat, because you are again always defensive and you are so sensitive that even somebody comes and says something related to that weak point, you immediately get outburst. That is, do not rock the boat. Do not say anything, otherwise I am ready to fight. Maybe particularly about your weaknesses or about some of the lacunas. No, that is not good. Now there are some common myths about listening. Myths, wrong assumptions. What are those? We feel usually, I do not have to concentrate. Listening comes naturally. No, listening doesn't come naturally. You have to concentrate. You have to be very much conscious to listen everything. Second, I am a good listener because I always get facts and figures straight. I remember the facts and figures. It means I am a good listener. No, you may be selective listener. You are just selectively listening the facts and figures, but you are ignoring the other important message, the emotions, the feelings and other context of the listener. Next, you should not interrupt when someone is speaking. Yeah, that is good. But a good listener does not hesitate to make clarifications if speaker is not clear. The good listener, effective listener, does not wait for the speaker to finish. He may interpret and will get cleared because he is an effective listener. A good listener paraphrases everything a speaker says. Paraphrasing, saying after something. When a speaker says some things, someone is telling you, okay, you are supposed to come tomorrow at 10 o'clock and tell me this. Okay, so tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I should come. That is paraphrasing. No, a good listener does not paraphrase everything. Paraphrase will be only, all right, tomorrow at 10, I'll do. That is only, not repeating everything the speaker has said. Okay, let's move now and see poor listening habits. I'm deliberately talking all the negative aspects first, and then we will see what to do to be effective listener. What are poor listening habits? Number one, rehearsing, interrupting, hearing what is expected. What is rehearsing? Rehearsing is repeating your own response in your mind. For example, you listen a presentation and you listen, and after some time you have a question. And you just start rehearsing that question now. Okay, I have a question and I have to ask why is it so. You prepare your question and you go on rehearsing. Next part of listening is ignored. That is rehearsing something. That is not good. That is a poor listening habit. Interrupting. Without understanding the concepts, without knowing that speaker is much engaged in more detailed explanation, it is just because of my ignorance, I'll just interrupt. Okay, sir, please, I was not able to understand because I was busy in my mobile. Can you please repeat it again? Interruption, not allowed. Hearing what is expected. You are just hearing what is expected. That is, the listener wants to say something, but you take it in other way and you hear it. Feeling defensive. Always feeling defensive. When somebody comes and asks, how are you today? You say, why you ask me? Because you are feeling defensive. You feel that the friend is deliberately asking you because maybe some wrong things have happened or some negative sad things have happened at your home. So feeling defensive. Listening for a point of disagreement. And it usually happens in debates on television. You must have observed this. Listening for the point of disagreement. You listen and when the point of disagreement comes, you immediately start interrupting and you are just speaking, ignoring the next part of listening. Call the subject matter uninteresting. Next is, you say, Arey, I have read a book on this. The speaker is telling the same thing. Just leave it. And the subject matter is not interesting. Let me just ignore it. No. Even if you can, how can you be active listener here? Even if you have read that, you have listened that, you have watched that, you should say, okay, I know all about that. Let me see what this speaker has different to tell me and concentrate. That is the strategy of active listeners. Next, listening only for facts. As I told, selective listeners only listen for the facts, do not pay attention to other information. Focusing the speaker and his appearance, voice, etc. Most of us have this poor habit. That is, we focus on the speaker, his appearance, his body language, his paralinguistic features. No, we should not do that. We should focus on the message. We should focus on the information being sent. And the last one is fake attention. It is very favorite of all the students, particularly in class, because you do not want to get, angry from the teacher. You do not want to get, let us say, a shout of teacher. What you do, you keep everything aside and you just as if you are listening everything carefully. No, that is fake listening. You are showing you are listening but closed minds. Now let us see now when we have seen all about negative part of listenings, let us see now what is listening and how to improve it. Now, process of listening. How listening takes place, and usually we take it in other way. There are two ways, A and B, and in A it has two ways, that is bottom up and top down listening process. What is that bottom up and top down? Look at this now. I am reading a sentence. Listen me carefully. If you want to interact with me live, I am coming online tomorrow at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Now, when I read that sentence or when I spoke that sentence, you were interpreting the message word by word. When I say, if you want to interact with me live, you come to know interaction with sir live. I am coming online, sir is coming online tomorrow at 8 p.m. on YouTube. And then you understand the whole message that there will be live session tomorrow at 8 p.m. on YouTube to have interaction with sir. That is called as bottom up. That is, you understand the meaning of words, then phrases, then sentences, then clauses, then sentences, and then the paragraph. That is bottom up listening. Top down listening, you listen everything the sentence is said and then you grasp the message. That is called as top down listening process. Now, listening for a point of disagreement. That is, you listen everything the sentence is said and then you grasp the message. That is called as bottom up listening. Top down listening, you listen everything the sentence is said and then you grasp the message. That is called as top down listening process. Now, Example of an announcement again at the railway station, right? When the entire announcement is done, you interpret that and you definitely act accordingly. But as soon as the next announcement comes, suppose first announcement goes and you find that this is not for you, then second again you listen, may I have your attention please, कृपया ध्यान दीजिए. As soon as you listen, you start bottom up listening. Train number 1102, immediately you just tell yes, it is my train, and you take the actions. That is bottom up and top down listening. When we use this, the bottom up listening, if we are new user of language, if we are the new user of language, we use bottom up listening because we understand the words first and then phrases. Or even if we are aware about the language, in case of important messages like study, announcements, etc., we use bottom up listening. Like if there is a very important announcement, you listen very carefully, bottom up, interpreting each and every word. And the study is the specific example when you are in the class and when you are listening to the lectures. Top down, when it is used, when we are well familiar with the language, we are well aware about our mother tongues, so we don't pay attention to words, we pay attention to the message directly and we grasp the message, we don't pay attention to the words even. In general communication, when purpose is to get informed or add to the knowledge, then we use top down listening process. Now what is the B, the second type? It is known, this is the universal listening process now, and there are 5 stages, and let me explain these stages with the example of this one, a class teacher and HOD making announcement in the class. Sensing is the first stage. Now look at this announcement. The HOD is coming in the class and giving the announcement. All the students who have registered for soft skill training should meet the TPO tomorrow between 1 to 3 p.m. in his office. So as soon as HOD starts announcing this, you start sensing. The people, the students who have registered, they sense, okay, this message is for me or for us. Interpreting, then you start, suppose you are one of those registered students, you sense it, you understand that this is for me, and then immediately if you are writing something, you just look and pay attention. Interpreting, then you start interpreting, okay, it is about soft skills and there is a meeting maybe in TPO office and we may have some important work, some important discussion, and I have to go and attend. Evaluate, then you start evaluating, okay, so now tomorrow between 1 to 3 I have to make the adjustments, and in the break I have to go and meet the TPO. Then responding, you respond to that, you may write somewhere or you may tell your friend who is also one of your soft skill registered students, okay, listen and keep it in mind, we will go tomorrow. You respond or you tell HOD, yes sir, okay sir, thank you very much, we will go. Responding. And finally memory, you will keep in mind it, either you record that, store that in your brain or somewhere, and you memorize that tomorrow at 1 to 3 you evaluate, you respond, right? You say, okay, it is between 1 to 3, I can go anytime, so let us go at 1:30 or 1:30 to 2 so that I can go and visit. You memorize that, you keep it in mind, and then you proceed. Let us see now types of listening and which type is used for what, so that we are able to use those types accordingly. First one is active passive listening, interest level on a topic, for example, movie and speech or a lecture. Active passive, now it depends on the topic and the interest. If you are watching a movie, if you are watching a very good, let us say a program on television, you are listening very actively. But when you are listening to speech or lectures, you are listening that passively. It is as simple as that. Both are listening. You are listening, paying attention, but very passively. You are not involved at all. Right? So active listening requires the listener to consciously concentrate, understand, respond, and then remember what is being said rather than just passively hearing the message of the speaker. So what you are supposed to do to be active listener, we are going to see, but let me tell you here. When you want to convert that passive listening into active, you have to engage yourself by nodding your head, having a smile, natural smile on your face, using your eyes, trying to memorize the things, trying to guess what the speaker will say ahead, what will be the next part, noting down some important points, and trying to correlate the message being sent by the speaker with your previous experience. These are the strategies of active listeners, and you have to use those to be active listener. Let's move ahead. Informative listening. The purpose is to get the information, like listening to news and other programs to get the information, to get the knowledge. Attentive listening, listening to lectures, presentations and meetings because you want to get the information and record it, work accordingly. So your attention is high level. Then empathetic listening. When a friend is talking about his sufferings, you listen and you have a different facial expressions and eye contact and even neck movement as well. That is empathetic. To show empathy for somebody else's suffering, we listen, and that is a great source of comfort for the person who is suffering. Be empathetic listener, particularly nurses in hospitals. They use it. They listen everything the patient, a good nurse I mean, they listen everything the patient says. Empathetic listening, to show empathy to others. Appreciative listening, when you are listening for the sake of appreciation, that is called as appreciative listening. Like aesthetic pleasures, listening comedy shows and the movies and so on. You want to appreciate and you want to get enjoyment based on the performance of that particular speaker. Critical or evaluative listening, to, for example, listening to a salesperson or a police or a politician. When a salesperson is trying to sell something to you, use this critical or evaluative listening. That is, you want to evaluate, you do it. Okay, the salesperson is saying this is good, this is so. You go on evaluating. Is it so? Is it true? Is the person is really telling true or not? A politician who is promising so many things, you evaluate, right? You listen that critically and you have your own judgments. And discriminative listening, to differentiate two speakers or two sources. You discriminate between the information provided by two different speakers or two different sources. Now, out of all those, active passive listening is very, very important. Particularly active listening, and active, attentive and empathetic listening, they play very important role in a person's development of his or her own personality. Alright, now why one should be a good listener? Why should I be so good listener? Let us see now with this one great quote by Roy T. Bennett, who says, sometimes all a person wants is an empathetic ear. All he or she needs is to talk it out. Just offering a listening ear and an understanding heart for his or her suffering can be a big comfort. Do you have this experience? Most of the time, your close friends come to you and they express their problems, they express their sadness, they express their difficulties, and when you listen them carefully and try to give some, let us say, responses, they feel very great and you get this response, I felt very good to talk with you. Why? Because you gave your ear to him or her. That is, you empathetically listened everything, and that actually has given a great comfort to your friend. Are you using that? Yes, very good. No, have it. Have empathetic listening, habit of empathetically listening. That creates very huge impact and that increases our friends. A good listener always has more friends. Okay, let us move ahead. Why again we should be good listeners? Because it is a highest compliment. When you listen someone, there is no other compliment than just listening and responding with the help of your body language. They feel as more you concentrate and respond, that more information the speaker gives you, and that more speaker gets excited. That's why it is very important. It breaks up the barriers between people. When there is a quarrel between two people, nobody is listening, just one person should come forward and listen what the other person has to say. Once that listening is done, you will find that unnecessarily we were having wrong assumptions about each other. We were having misunderstandings about each other. It breaks the barriers between people. It minimizes the future loss and difficulties. If listened carefully, there will not be repetition of work. Boss is giving, manager is giving some work. He has spent 3 hours in explaining that particular project. The team members go and do a project for 1 or 2 weeks and the results are wrong. because they did not listen carefully. So it definitely saves future time, loss and difficulties as well. It prevents miscommunication. I just told, if you are listening carefully and completely, there will not be miscommunication. It forms a bond of respect. Yes, when you are listening carefully, the people start respecting you. The people will start coming you and explaining their worries, their views, even they will come and ask for opinions on their personal decisions as well, because they feel you listen carefully and then only talk. It calms people down. When somebody is very angry, just listen. Just keep mum and listen and just okay, fine, all right, no issue, no problem. You go on saying. Automatically after some time the person will get calm and will say, sorry, I unnecessarily troubled you to shout about someone else to you, or even shout at you unnecessarily. Listening calms people down. Try this. It increases confidence and accuracy. Yeah, that is true. If you listen carefully, there will be accuracy, and as you have perceived information carefully, you will be very confident to convey that information to someone else. And it is very important for winning friends and gaining knowledge. As I just said earlier, if you are a very good listener, you will definitely have more friends than the person who is speaking more. Alright, now what are the barriers then? Fine, I understood about the poor listening habits and myths and ineffective listening, let us say, habits. Even I understood why I have to be very good and effective listener. Let me know now what are the barriers. So let us see what are the barriers of listening and how to overcome those. Now some of the barriers we cannot definitely overcome, but yes, we can use the strategies to get benefited even in those that is a difficult situations. The first one, content may be the barrier, in which listeners knowing too much or too little. Suppose a speaker is giving information on stock marketing, right? And there are many attendees, two are there. One knows everything about stock marketing and the speaker is giving just the basic information. He'll feel, I know it, I should not pay attention, there will be diversion. The other friend may be new, he does not even know what is NSC, what is BSc and nothing else. So he will feel, I do not know what is that and how to open my Demat account and all that. So he will again feel, okay, I have to first know what is the concepts, basic concepts, and then come to listen. So content, listener knowing too much or too little, that may also create problem. Speaker, the attitude of the speaker towards the audience or the attitude of the audience towards the speaker, that may also will be a kind of barrier. Like speaker feels, I know everything, and audience are new, they do not know anything, they should only listen me. No, that kind of bossism is not welcome. On other way, the audience feel that the speaker is very stylish, speaker is just from that particular background, that is why he is giving importance to that particular category and so on. No, as well as the style of delivery. Of course, if a speaker is effective, that is good, but if speaker is not effective in speaking, his voice quality is not good, he is not using the presentation aids properly, then that may create problem in listening. Medium, maybe distance and the language as well. Like medium, distance, suppose you are far away and listening, that will create problem. And suppose you are speaking in mother tongue and the other people do not understand what you are talking, that may create problem. Definitely language. Distractions, external as well as internal. Distractions, suppose you are listening, you are attending lecture and there is something going outside and you listen the music, automatically you get distracted. That is external. But internal distractions are more dangerous even than the external one. What are those internal distractions? It is said that, and it is proved, the research has proved that you cannot concentrate on any speaker for more than 3 minutes. 3 to maximum 5 minutes. You can concentrate on any speaker for maximum for 5 minutes. After that, it is natural to get diverted. And what is the reason for diversion? The reason will be one of the aspects told by the speaker. Now, I have given some examples. I have given you some of the situations and context. Definitely, I am sure that you must have got diverted at least for 5-10 minutes to think about imagination or imagining the same situation. That is internal distractions. The other example is the speaker is saying, but we are just listening first part and later on we are busy in our own thinking. Maybe because of some of the things that has happened at home, maybe disagreements, maybe let us say quarrel between you and your friend, and some problems which you are facing, your family is facing. You are just listening to the speaker and you are indulged in your own thought process. That is internal distractions, and that may be the barrier. Physical conditions, of course, physical conditions as well. If I'm not feeling well, I may not be able to concentrate properly. Or I am sitting in an AC room and I am exactly below the AC point. I am getting very cold, so either I want to change the place, but it is very full, or I want to lower the speed, but I cannot disturb the speaker now. So I am just trying myself to get covered anyhow so that I do not get cold. So that may create barrier, and I will just think about if I can see a peon and tell him to reduce, or if anybody goes out and I can occupy that particular seat, and so on. That is physical conditions. Speaking thinking rate, as I told, speaking thinking, we are just using 25% of our mental ability to listen, but we can have the capacity of listening up to 500 words. 75% of our mental ability is not involved, it is involved in something else. Status and role. Yeah, the status, suppose a person has a greater status, he may have wrong assumptions and he may only try to give orders. And the role, if you are the leader, you feel that you have to only give the tasks. No, it is not like that. That also can be a barrier. How to become an effective listener then? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we should use them proportionately. I hope this quote is enough to be effective listener. That is, we have 1 mouth and 2 ears. It shows that you should listen double than you speak. If you are speaking 1 sentence, you have to listen 2 sentences. That is being effective listener. Decide your goal and purpose. Let us see further strategies. First, decide your goal. Why you want to listen that speaker. Decide that and then go to listening. Learn when to speak and when to listen. You should know that after when to listen and when you have the problems, you have to wait and when to speak. Give opportunities to others. When you are discussing in a group, in a meeting, it is even if you have all the knowledge, you should give opportunity to others, listen them and then give your opinion. That will definitely create impact. Listen attentively, recap regularly. Attentively, as I told earlier, being active listener, involvement of your body language plays greater role. Your eye movements, your smile, your facial expressions, nodding of your head, right? Trying to correlate the information being passed by the speaker with your own information, your knowledge, trying to guess the next part and so on. That is listening attentively and recapping regularly. After some time, okay, the speaker just first focused on this point, then he focused on that point, and now he is elaborating on this. So 3 points are covered. After some interval, just for a while, a shorter period, you have to take mental recap and concentrate. That makes you engaged listener. Stop multitasking. This is it always surprises me that to know that students, they watch television, they chat with their family members and they do assignment. It is not possible. Multitasking, we may be listening to someone, we may be watching television as well, and we may be listening some important lecture. This maybe you may be doing the same thing right now. You may be listening and you may be listening and talking to your other members at home or at your office as well. No, that is not a good. To be effective listener, you have to stop multitasking and concentrate on only one. Use your body language, particularly your eye contact, your gestures, your facial expressions, as I told. Avoid prejudices, that is wrong assumptions about the speaker. Array, the speaker is from this religion, it means he will focus on this. Speaker supports that particular background, that particular political party, then he may be from the same opinion. No, don't prejudice. Avoid it, listen partially, impartially, and try to get the information. Involve your thought process into listening process. Right? So thought process, 75%, do not get diverted. Involve that in your listening by guessing the next part, trying to recap and trying to interpret the meaning in context. Be self-dependent listener, very important. Do not depend on your friend to interpret the message being spent. Definitely, you have to be dependent on your own listening. Link what you are listening to what you already know or do not know or read somewhere or learned from your friend. 9 habits of active or effective listeners, the second last part of today's session. Let us know those 9 habits. Now, why we should have those 9 habits? Because you can win more friends with your ears than with your mouth. Repeatedly, I am telling the same thing again, that if you are a good listener, you will have very good number of friends. Because if you go on speaking, no, people don't like, they want to be listened. The people want to be listened. They have a lot of stories to tell and they want the audience. Be the audience first. Let us see those 9 habits. An active or effective listener fights against all the distractions and concentrates. Whatever distractions, whether they are external or internal, the active listener, the effective listener fights to those and concentrate. The effective listener does not finish other sentences. We have this habit sometimes. When somebody says something, we finish the sentences. When somebody is not getting the word, giving that word is fine, but we have to wait for the speaker to finish. Otherwise, that becomes our habit. Right? Does not answer question with question. For example, all right, tomorrow 11 o'clock, you meet me. Why? Of course, we should know why, but definitely, all right, I will meet. But may I know the reason? This is the correct response. Do not answer the question with question. First response, then you may get the clarification. The effective listener is aware of and prevents potential biases. He is aware that I am giving the examples from this field. There may be some wrong assumptions. He prevents those. He tells in the beginning itself that I do not want to hurt any religious feeling here, and I do not even want to refer any religion, but let me give the example. And then the person gives, because he knows that there will be some biases. In the same way, the listener also comes with this particular assumption. So there may be potential biases. The listener or the speaker may be giving the information just for the clarifications, right? But he has not clarified that. Okay, but it is just for the sake of explanation. And the person, the effective listener he prevents. Okay, this may be his or her, ignorance. No problem. He has given just for the sake of information. Never daydreams or get involved in his or her own thoughts while listening someone. A good effective listener never daydreams. Like sometimes we have the habit, when we listen someone and when a story comes, one incident comes, we correlate that with our experience and just we are lost in that particular thought and that particular history, and we come back before the end of the lecture. So that is what is called as daydreaming and involving in our own thought process. The effective listeners don't do this. Does not dominate the conversation. The effective listener always gives opportunity to others. Does not dominate the conversation. Responds after speaker finishes. An effective listener responds when the speaker finishes, does not interrupt in between. Provides feedback aptly. The effective listener provides feedback after some time, after a particular interval, and the feedback is apt, correct, expected. And sometimes the effective listener takes brief notes, maybe mental notes to note down the points by recapping, or the notes in his or her notebook. With this, let me end today's session with these 2 very important and effective quotes and the information and the activity ahead. You do not listen just with your ears. You listen with your eyes, your mind, your heart, and your imagination. Listening is not that easy. It does not involve only ears. It involves your eyes, you interpret, your mind, you grasp, your heart, feelings, empathetic, and your imagination. To be a good speaker, be a good listener first. Every leader, every public speaking training institute tells this, that to be a good speaker, you have to be a very good listener first. It is a challenge to be a good listener, but good listeners always get big rewards. Keep it in mind and let us start improving our listening skills. So this is the end of the session, and today I'm giving you these two very interesting activities actually. So first is you have to visit the following blog and know more about active listening. Alright, so due to time constraint, I could not get everything and involved. There is a lot actually on listening skills. It will take around 10 hours to talk and train, but finishing all that in 1 hour is quite challenging. So I have selected this source. First, go here, virtualspeech.com. Search on YouTube, virtualspeech.com, active listening skills, examples and exercises. But from here, you have to simply read about active listening. There are some exercises, but they are paid and it has some other connections. Don't go to that. Just read. It is very interesting and very useful blog. After that, go to this particular site. That is Test of English for International Communication. This is a very good and very useful resource. Test of English for International Communication. And you go to that particular site. I have deliberately taken the image here, and this is the website. And what you're supposed to do, solve at least 2 tests from each category. So these are the category like TOEIC photographs, TOEIC question responses, TOEIC conversations, and so on. There are these 6 categories. What you're supposed to do now, let me tell you what is there. It has a short audio clip and there are 2 to 3 questions. You have to just listen that audio clip of not more than even 1 or 2 minutes, and you are supposed to just solve the quiz given below. Just 2 or 3 quizzes. This will help you to improve your listening, test your listening. I hope you will do both these activities. Share your experience with me in comment section on our discussion forum. With this, let me thank you for listening attentively. I hope so. You have listened attentively and it has made some sense to you. These are some of the reference books. And of course, listening is mother of all skills. That is why listening is taken first. We have discussed listening first. We are going to see next skills, reading, speaking, writing and thinking in our next sessions. Till then, happy learning. Thank you very much. See you in next session.